You ever hear a love song that feels like it's hiding something? Well, today we're going to talk about one of the most famous Urdu poems ever written, Do Not Ask of Me, My Love, by Ahmad Faiz. Now, on the surface, it's this gorgeous classic love poem, but it's holding a secret. There's this incredible dramatic flip from pure romance to raw revolution, and it happens in a heartbeat.
So, let's just get right into it. On one side, you have this world of the beloved, a beautiful, all-consuming love that's everything. And on the other side, the harsh, brutal reality of mass human suffering. The poem makes us ask, how can these two things possibly exist in the same person, in the same heart, at the same time? That's really the core question we're going to unpack.
Okay, so the poem starts in a place that probably feels familiar if you've ever been head over heels in love. It's that world where one person isn't just important, they are the only thing that matters. The speaker is painting this picture of a time when his entire universe, everything he saw and felt, was defined by this one person.
What's so wild here is just how small his world was. I mean, think about it. It was so focused, so intense, that the absolute worst thing he could possibly imagine was his lover feeling sad. Any other pain in the universe, it just didn't even register. He really takes it to another level here. Her beauty isn't just, beautiful. It literally gives spring eternal youth. And her eyes were the only thing with any real value. Everything else in existence was, as he says, vain, pointless, empty. This is like the absolute peak of romantic obsession.
So he's building up this perfect, beautiful fantasy world where his love makes him feel totally invincible. It's that feeling of complete power, that sense that, hey, because I have this one perfect thing, I have everything.
And that's it, right there. That's the absolute high point of this feeling. Just having her with him made him feel like he owned the entire world. It's an incredible, intoxicating thought. But, as we're about to see, it's all built on some very, very shaky ground.
And boom, there it is, the pivot, the exact moment the whole dream just shatters. With one line, the speaker just yanks the rug out from under himself and from us too. That perfect world he just spent all this time describing? Yeah, he's telling us it was never even real.
And just like that, the entire tone of the poem changes. We are ripped from that quiet, internal world of two lovers and thrown into the brutal, messy, external reality of all of humanity. The beautiful illusion is gone, and what replaces it is this awakening to what he calls the curses of centuries. Just unimaginable suffering. The fantasy is officially over. What's coming next is a flood of harsh, unavoidable truths. The kind of truths that have been there all along, but he's been able to ignore them. Until now.
And he's not just talking about some vague, abstract problems here. He's talking about the real, historical weight of human misery, the legacies of colonialism, the brutality of war, the deep injustices that have been woven through history for generations, often hidden behind pretty things like silk and satin.
Suddenly, the language becomes shockingly graphic. This isn't some philosophical suffering. It is the raw horror of violence. Bodies covered in blood and dirt. I mean, what a jarring contrast to the blooming flowers and beautiful eyes he was just talking about. The horror just keeps coming. This haunting image of slavery, of human trafficking. People treated not like people, but like things to be bought and sold. It's the ultimate dehumanization, a reality that has haunted humanity for ages. And finally, he slams us with the reality of widespread sickness and poverty. The imagery is honestly grotesque, and it's meant to be. This is the kind of suffering that happens to the poor, the neglected, the world his perfect love had been shielding him from.
And this is the absolute key. It's not a choice anymore, it's a moral duty. He realizes he can't just live in his happy little bubble. He has a responsibility to actually look at this pain, to turn his gaze away from his lover and toward the suffering of the world.
So this creates a massive conflict, right? He's now stuck between two incredibly powerful forces. His deep, real love for this one person and his new, inescapable awareness of the suffering of millions. How do you even begin to live with that?
I mean, look at this transformation. In the past, his world was tiny and he felt like a king. Now his world has exploded to include everyone's pain. And in the face of all that, he feels completely and utterly helpless. His entire worldview has been turned upside down.
And this is the poem's heartbreaking core. His love for her isn't gone. She's just as beautiful as she ever was. What's gone is his ability to only see that beauty. He's helpless because he can't fix the world's problems, and he's helpless because he can't go back to the beautiful illusion he once had.
So, to really get why this poem takes such a hard left turn, you kind of have to know the guy who wrote it. Because this wasn't just a clever poetic idea for Ahmad Faiz. This was basically his life's philosophy put on paper.
See, Faiz was a full-blown revolutionary. He was a huge deal in the progressive writers movement, which was this anti-colonial group that believed art had a duty to fight for social justice. This is a man who lived through the unbelievably violent partition of India and Pakistan, who saw global struggles against fascism. For him, you could not separate art from politics. So this poem, it's not just about a change of heart, it's a political statement. It's saying personal happiness can't exist in a vacuum, blind to the injustices all around it.
So when he comes back to this line, this refrain, it hits completely differently. He's not saying, I don't love you anymore. Not at all. He's saying, I cannot love you in that same old, blind, selfish way. It's impossible now. My love for you has to exist alongside my responsibility to everyone else.
And that's what he leaves us with. This massive, powerful question. In a world that is so full of pain and injustice, how do we balance our own private joys with our public duties? Faiz doesn't really give us an easy answer, but he makes sure we can't ignore the question. And maybe that's the real point of his revolutionary love poem.